But first, well, it's been a hell of a eventful week on the royal scene, hasn't it, on the royal front? So let's go straight over to Los Angeles and talk to our resident royal guru, our resident expert, the host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered, Kinsey Schofield. Hi, Kins.
Kev, I had the best weekend of not looking at any Prince Andrew headlines. I chose to spend it with my nephew and not see anything. And then yesterday I got home, perused everything, and thought, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. It really is. We tried to get you on Friday. I know that you always have Fridays off. But I said, see if Kinsey will break off her weekend, see if she can come on. But I don't think we managed to make contact. But it actually broke on Friday just as I was going on air, 7 o'clock Friday night. And frankly, all hell broke loose. It occurs to me, Kinsey, because usually we spend most of our time talking about Harry and Meghan. There's a thread here, right? I think you and I have discussed this before. If you're born into the royal family, it is the British royal family, it is an extremely unusual card to be played in the game of life. It's a very unusual lot to have to learn to deal with. Not that easy, I would suggest. And I would also suggest you need a certain intellect, a certain brain power to work out how to behave with the status that has been bequeathed to you, how to behave with a certain humility, with a certain dignity. Otherwise, it can go badly wrong. Now, who are the thickest two members, the dumbest two members of the British royal family? Well, there's no competition. It is Prince Harry and Prince Andrew, both of whom I think have demonstrated that they cannot get their heads around the decent form of behaviour that they should be following. Now, I'm in no way, of course, linking Harry with the sort of nefarious awfulness that Prince Andrew's been involved in. But
I think it's completely fair to say that Harry and Meghan are on the same trajectory. If you look at some of the associations that Harry and Meghan have, we discussed this last week. You will be judged by the company that you keep. So when Lily's godfather is named Tyler Perry, who's accused of sexual harassment and sexual assault, it will negatively affect you. It will negatively affect Lily. Whitney Heard from Bumble, who Meghan calls one of her best friends, was one of the first guests on Confessions of a Female Founder, accused of racism, admitted to using the N-word, admitted to perpetuating homophobia around the office to keep up with some of the guys. You know, there is a long list of people that Ellen DeGeneres accused of bullying. There is a long list of associations that have soured with the public when it comes to Harry and Meghan. And I do think that you are who you associate with, and Harry and Meghan have to be very careful going forward of who they allow within their circle, because it will reflect negatively on the British royal family.
Well, I think that I take your point there, Kinsey, but the parallel that we can definitely draw between disgraced Prince Andrew, for he is fully in disgrace and shame now. Frankly, these denials, I have never met this woman, Virginia Giuffre, no one believes him. No one believes him for a second. If it was true he'd never met her, if it was true that he hadn't, as she claims, sexually abused her on 3 different continents, if his denials were true, why is he stepping down? Why is he giving up his titles? Why did he give her £12 million or $15 million not to go to civil court in New York? So all of those questions just basically lead one to conclude that we know he's a liar. He lied about cutting off contact from Jeffrey Epstein. Why should we believe him on these other denials? That notwithstanding, what I'm trying to say is there is a parallel between the path in life that Prince Andrew and Fergie, his former wife, took, and the path that Harry seems to be taking. And that is this, that like Harry, Andrew and Fergie used their royal status to line their own pockets, to hook up with rich people to make money. Now, that's what Harry has gone off to do in America. He's gone off to use his royal status to make lots of money for himself. I don't think it's going well, but that's what he's trying to do. So there is this parallel, and if you have this combination of a guy who's famously not too bright, Prince Harry and Prince Andrew, just trying to cash in on their royal status, which they don't have the intellect to really understand, just to try to use their royal status for venal purposes to make money for themselves. It is a toxic cocktail, and that's why Andrew is in so much trouble, and that's why, you know, Harry has been in so much trouble, and I think will continue to be in a lot of trouble, because this is no way for a royal to behave. It's no way for a royal to behave. Say, I am the Duke of Sussex, I'm the King's son, give me money. That is no way.
Give me money, give me royal protection. Well, also, just, you know, when you talk about Fergie, Meghan Markle, everything Meghan Markle has done echoes Sarah Ferguson. Children's books. Sarah Ferguson writes children's books. There's Meghan Markle's The Bench. Oprah Winfrey. Fergie did several sit-downs with Oprah Winfrey, as well as doing a Oprah Winfrey produced reality show. Now Harry and Meghan turned to Netflix for their reality show, but Fergie also did a reality show. Cooking in the kitchen, trying to go that lifestyle route. Fergie did that as well. You know, we saw her on QVC selling blenders at 3 a.m. That's something that we've seen similar with Meghan Markle trying to shill her as ever products across Netflix. So, I mean, there are multiple comparisons and ways that you can look at what Meghan Markle has done since stepping back as a member of the royal family that mirror Fergie's, and that's not the right way to go. I mean, we've seen how messy that's turned out to be for both of them. I'd say that in the last few weeks, that Fergie email, it might be what started the avalanche here. Supreme friend Jeffrey Epstein, you know, now to be fair, her camp says she just wrote him this groveling apology email because he was threatening her family. We'll pretend that we're confident in that. However, she still wrote Jeffrey Epstein after telling the media that she was distancing herself from him and called him a supreme friend and was very complimentary towards him.
Exactly right. And so, as I say, I'm not trying to say that Andrew and Harry are leading similar or ever led similar lives, but the path they both chose to line their own pockets using their royal status has led to a lot of trouble for Harry, and it's led to obviously terminal trouble for Prince Andrew. Before we get back to Harry and Meghan, Meghan's been out and about, by the way, going to a vegan dinner in Los Angeles. Last time I saw her, she had her hand up a chicken's backside. That's not very vegan, is it? We'll talk about that in just a second, but can I get your assessment of just how damaging to the royal family you think this Andrew episode has been, or continues to be, because of course Virginia Giuffre's post-mortem biography, her autobiography, comes out tomorrow. By all accounts, it's full of incredibly damaging allegations against Prince Andrew, because we can still call him that. He's lost all his other titles. And the royal family are bracing themselves for more and more embarrassment. We also have the Epstein files. There are said to be hundreds of emails in the Epstein files, which will heap even more humiliation on Andrew and by extension the royal family. How damaging has this all been, Kinsey?
Well, look, I think if you're a monarchist, you wrote Prince Andrew off a long time ago, and you are done with him. You've checked out. You're disgusted with him. And these new, I feel like they hurt the royal family when it comes to general popularity for people that are not necessarily engaged regularly. But if you are a regular royal watcher, you know, you were done with Prince Andrew a long time ago, and his actions are not a reflection to you on King Charles or Prince William. But I think in the overall scheme of things, yes, it will hurt the royal family's popularity in a random YouGov poll coming up. But I think that it's actually given Prince William a little bit of credibility, because these stories that are circulating around the States are that he's prepared to really develop a backbone here. I mean, I shouldn't say develop. I think he's got a great backbone. But the stories that are circulating around the States are that Prince William will strip not only Prince Andrew of his HRH and princely title when he ascends to the throne, because legally Prince Andrew still has these titles.
He still has the title, yeah.
As the saint that he is, he's voluntarily decided to let them go.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but they're also saying that Prince William will strip Meghan and Harry and their children of dukedoms, their HRH, that he was unhappy that Meghan continued to use her HRH despite being ordered not to do so by the late Queen Elizabeth. We saw that on that gift basket for Jamie Kern-Lima. So I think that this story has almost propelled Prince William into an admirable leadership role. Yeah. Not to say he wasn't already in one, but I think we're looking at him seeing, that he's courageous, he's brave, and he's willing to do some things that perhaps his father just isn't, because his father is ill. He's waited all of his life for this job, and he just wants to get on with the job.
Sure. There's a lot of calls over here, and I agree with them, for the king now to go the whole hog. And we need to pass an act of parliament. It has to go through our governmental system. We need to pass an act to officially take these titles. He's got 3. He's also the Earl of Inverness, and he's something called Baron Kiliari or something in Northern Ireland as well. So Baron Kililia, Barry Kililia, Barony Kililia. So there are moves to go through Parliament and take these titles away from him officially. The King is saying, oh, well, I don't want to bother Parliament with this. I think he's wrong. I think this is about, I think the people want to see it, and I think it's about accountability. If this goes through Parliament, I don't think it'll take up too much time. Nobody's going to bother debating it. It'll just get passed. So I think he's wrong about, the Parliament's too busy. They can do this in a flash. They can do this very quickly. But I think it's about sending a message, not only to the royal family, but to the British people. Accountability. If you behave appallingly, you pay the price. That's what we need to see with Andrew. So I, for one, hope that this Act of Parliament does go through and we do officially take these titles away from him once and for all. And I think you're right, Kinsey. I think when William would do it if he was in control now, if he was the king now, but he's not. But when he is the king, I think you're right, he will take Harry's titles away as well. And I think the people want to see it. We don't want to see members of the royal family being able to do exactly what they want and still retain these exalted titles that are supposed to be positions of respect.
Well, also with Harry and Meghan, they're lying through their teeth, in my opinion, allegedly. Yeah. I'll say that for legal. But when Meghan Markle sits on the Fortune stage, most powerful women, most powerful of what? The chicken coop? Like, what are you most powerful of? You've not had, in the last 3 weeks, we've seen her at Paris Fashion Week, we've seen her accept a Humanitarian of the Year award, and we've seen her sitting in front of a group full of entrepreneurs talking about how she is one of the most powerful women in the business space. Those are 3 different categories where I would argue till my last breath that Meghan Markle has not proven herself in. Fashion, humanitarianism. I mean, Meghan just takes a break. She dips out. We don't hear from her for years or months, and then she comes back with a Humanitarian of the Year award. And when it comes to being an entrepreneur, show us some numbers to prove that you've sold anything from as ever. Yeah. We have no proof whatsoever that you're moving any sort of inventory. Oh, you were the wine sponsor at a recent vegan event. It's because you have plenty of products, girlfriend. Hasn't said sold out on as ever when it comes to any of your booze lately. So I think that what really frustrates people about watching Harry and Meghan use the titles, if it was just Harry showing up and talking to sick kids, we would have no problem with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex title. But it's Meghan sitting on a stage and, in my personal opinion, lying through her teeth about her success, lying about what she's capable of doing, lying about being a philanthropist. That's what really irritates people about watching. And if, like you said, monetizing those titles. People resent that.
Yeah, it's not what royalty's for. It's not what British royalty's for. It isn't to make money off the back of. And both Harry and Andy, well, Harry continues to seek to do it. Quite how Andrew will carry on is a moot point because we may never hear from him again. And if we don't ever hear from him again, it won't be a moment too soon. As I say, that book comes out. It's called Nobody's Girl. It's Virginia Giuffre's book. She, of course, sadly took her own life a few months back, 41 years old. Had been exploited by powerful men her whole life, including, she says, Prince Andrew, on 3 different continents. Andrew says he's never met her. There's a picture of him with his arm around her. So the guy's just a liar. It's just a liar, and he deserves his fate. Let's talk a little bit about Meghan. She is now 2 weeks into this sort of publicity blitz. She went to Paris for the Paris Fashion Week. Nobody invited her. She invited herself. She went to New York to pick up a humanitarian award of the year. No one knows what that was for or why she picked it up, but she likes all that sort of thing. Harry got one too, which is even more farcical. And now, over the weekend, Kinsey, she popped up at a glitzy vegan banquet in Los Angeles. This was at the home of designer Kelly Wurstler. Celebrity chef Camilla Marcus produced an entirely plant-based menu for a series of luminaries, including Meghan. And this plant-based menu was washed down with Meghan's as ever wine. What a treat for everyone.
Hope you like gasoline.
Yeah. Yeah. What a treat for them all that they got some as ever wine. I mean, you got to say, not many people get to actually get their as ever wine, so in that respect they were lucky.
Well, that is the one thing that's not selling out. So if you really want it, guys, it's there for the taking. She also was at a charity event for one of her friends. It was a tennis event. I mean, there has been a strong shift in strategy, and somebody has said, you know what, let's pretend oversaturation doesn't exist, and let's just throw you absolutely everywhere, and let's, we'll deal with the consequences later. But I thought that there was a really interesting piece in, I think it was the Daily Mail, about how there's no method to the madness. And somebody that, according to the Daily Mail, is close to them, said that her PR team are just putting her out there in a hopeful way without a plan. They aren't being discerning and protecting her from herself, said the source. It seems that every media opportunity is a good one, and they called it insane, that was their thought process, that she's just everywhere right now. They said there's no strategy here. It is thoughtless and directionless. One day she's in Paris, positioning herself in the fashion world. The next, she's in Washington at Fortune magazine and wants to be regarded as a female founder, but she's got nothing to launch, nothing to announce, and nothing to say. It's a mess. They said that they felt like the Sussexes were spiraling and throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what sticks. But I told you last week, I told you on Tuesday of last week, I think it's makeup that's coming. And Charlotte Griffin's in the
Mail on Sunday.
Mail, yeah. Obviously watching our program, because she's exclusively announced that Meghan makeup could be next on the horizon.
Yeah, Charlotte seems to write a lot of stories that are very pro Meghan.
Oh yeah.
That headline, gee, I wonder where she gets the stories from. But that headline in the Mail on Sunday, now Meghan plans to be a billionaire on the makeup scene. Hang on a second, hang on. So this is the latest endeavor that's going to make her $1 billion. Every single time, she's going to be a billionaire. She's going to be a billionaire influencer. She'll be charging $1 million for every single post. Whatever happened to that? She's going to make $1 billion making films and TV shows for Netflix. What happened to that? She's going to make a fortune, $1 billion for American Riviera Orchard. What happened to that? She's going to make $1 billion from As Ever. What happened to that? So when I see a headline saying, now Meghan's going to make $1 billion as a makeup tycoon, I think, really? I doubt it. Don't you?
I do doubt it. I mean, when you think of some of the biggest celebrity makeup brands today, Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez, what is Rihanna's? Rihanna has Fenty Beauty. These are women that, okay, with Hailey Bieber, yes, the Bieber last name helps her. But as Hailey Baldwin, she was a supermodel before she married her husband. And Hailey Bieber, in my opinion, came up with that brilliant phone case where your lip gloss, her lip gloss, attaches to the back. And everyone bought that phone case. I saw everyone in LA with that phone case. That was a unique, very unique product that we hadn't seen before.
I got one of those. So it's brilliant.
I know you do. I know you got 3 or 4 of them.
It really improved my looks.
Exactly.
If that's possible.
But you know, Selena Gomez, Rihanna, Gwen Stefani, these are all people that have really impressive resumes without the person that they married. Without the person she married, Meghan Markle is a nobody that was being written off Suits and was, you know, on the way to having to play a minivan mom in whatever she could secure acting-wise because she's in her 40s now. Meghan Markle, you know, Suits wasn't the phenomenon then that it became after the plague when no one had anything else to do but to sit back and rewatch episodes of a show that no longer existed. So, I mean, Meg, you've said it 1,000 times, to be an influencer, to sell things, people have to like you. And
That's the problem.
Yeah, how many times does Meghan Markle have to? I mean, she says it she awkwardly laughs during the Fortune interview and talks about how she has a weird relationship with social media. Girl, it's not social media. It's just a fact. Not a lot of people like you. They just utilize social media to tell you. I think that she has a real problem with likability, and it doesn't matter what she launches where. And actually, maybe that's wrong. There are places all over the world that can tolerate her, but it's not in the United States. It's not in the UK. And that's where she's trying to monetize her status to the British royal family. Absolutely.
Now, at this dinner over the weekend in LA, it was actually hosted by the British-born CEO of the fashion brand Good American, Emma Grede. And here's the deal. As I say, they had a plant-based menu because it was a vegan dinner. I don't know what Meghan's doing there. I mean,
remember, this is the same girl that Meghan did an interview with, remember?
Well, but I mean, Meghan seems to be a voracious meat eater, so I'm not quite sure what she's doing there. But anyway, this is what was interesting. It was all this plant-based meal, 3 courses, was washed down by As Ever wine. Emma Grede had red wine. As Ever doesn't do red wine. So what do you make of that? She didn't want the Sauvignon Blanc or the Meghan Rosé, obviously.
Well, I don't trust Emma at this point. Emma sat down and did that interview with Meghan Markle for her podcast and just kissed up and down her backside, talking about how cute the baby mama video is. One of the lowest points, I think, if we look at a calendar in 2025 for Meghan Markle. Her twerking hospital video, I'd say it ranks just above the Vanity Fair American Hustlers article for lowest points in 2025. But also, Emma has the audacity to be an ambassador for the King's Trust. You know, pick a side. You can't elevate and continuously prop up Meghan, America's favorite grifter, but also go and kiss the butt of the king. Pick a side. If I were the King's Trust, I'd say, you know, we're concerned about your, you know, where your, you know, allegiances are.
Indeed. What about Harry? What the hell is he up to? I mean, he'll be quite enjoying his Uncle Andrew's fate because he hates Andrew, and so does William. So they'll both be quite enjoying it. But what actually is Harry doing, if anything at all?
I still am under the impression that he would love to get back in with his father and the royal family because he realizes that he's very limited when it comes to talent and ability. What's he doing right now? I bet you he's petrified of losing his titles because he realizes that Prince William got his way almost when Andrew voluntarily gave up his titles. I think Prince William would have loved for him to be formally stripped of his titles. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Harry, you're next. You are next. You do not behave like a royal. Your wife certainly does not behave like a royal. And your actions still reflect on the British royal family because you refuse to shake off those titles. So I think that Harry's likely pretty nervous about what could come next with Prince William.
So how do you think it'll go down with Meghan on the day that she's told, well, you can no longer call yourself the Duchess of Sussex because your husband isn't the Duke of Sussex? How do you think that?
And how does that even make sense for her Meghan Sussex name now? Yeah. You're Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. You're not Meghan Sussex. How will it go down? I don't know. I mean, maybe I have to send you this. I'm not going to say it on air, but there is a tabloid story that's happening over here about Harry and a certain prescription medication for his hair, and one of the fallouts from it. Okay, like
the fallouts. Is his hair falling out?
Well, his hair
hasn't got much left to fall out, has he?
His hair is falling out, but what happens when he takes the pill is.
All right.
It's disappointing.
Oh, I think I know what this story's going to be. I know what that story is. I know about that drug, and not personally, I should say. One thing, the only thing.
Thank you for clarifying.
The only talent I've got is not losing my hair. Apart from that,
maybe he's Googling. Maybe he's trying to find solutions in that arena. I don't know.
Kinsey, send me that story. I want to read it. And really good to talk to you. We'll talk again on Thursday. Excellent. Thank you so much. Kinsey Schofield there, host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered.